Train the muscles, not the joints. Pretty cool sky, huh? Made that myself. You're welcome. Nice blue. Matches my shirt. Eh? And the Gallantians of the Galaxy t-shirt that I just came out with. Hey, this is great. Thanks a lot to Sam Weller who designed this. You're making noise over there, Frankie. You're making noise. Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to do a pumper workout. So it's a workout that I do, sometimes it's a whole body workout, sometimes I do just upper body or whatever, but I do a series of different exercises just to get the blood flowing and to get my body back in the groove. So some people, they take time off for a week or they take time off for a couple days, and you know, in this case for me, I didn't really take time off, but my intensity for my workouts during the time that I filmed this video, for a few days before, I was doing some other work, so I wanted to just do a pumper workout, and this is kind of what it looks like. This, of course, goes in alignment with listening to your body, because sometimes you have energy, sometimes you don't, sometimes your work schedule is a little bit more hectic, so it's sometimes good to lessen the intensity in your workouts for short periods of time and then up the intensity when you do have the energy or you have the resources to follow through. The really important thing is just to remain consistent, but your intensity will be different depending on what's going on in your life at that time, so sometimes it's okay to make calibrations based on that. Okay, last set of these. Like I said, just 3 sets of lightweight. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Now it's up to you how you approach this. Some people, they feel like they want to hit one body part and really get back in the swing of things and just hit it hard with lots of reps and get a pump, and it's almost like they're making up for the guilt of lost time in the gym. For me, I didn't really miss that much time in the gym, but one thing I do find, even if I only miss a couple days, it's good for me to recalibrate and get a bunch of muscle groups in all at once. It's almost like it refines the coordination, gets the blood flowing, and gets me back on track, and then I can go into the higher volume workouts after that. For the last week or so, my workouts have been a little bit more sporadic, and I was also running a meditation sort of retreat thing, so my energy was more inwards, so that's a whole different discussion altogether. But when you're doing meditation type practices, you're actually pulling the physical energy from the body and bringing it into the center channel. So the bottom line is that sometimes you'll find that if you're doing a lot of meditation, just for you guys that are doing meditation out there, not the best thing to do before a squat workout or anything. And at the same time, there's different ways that the energy runs. Sometimes it's running outward, sometimes it's running inward. So yin and yang, right? So if it's too yin, then you're not gonna have the same type of physical energy, right? So yeah, sometimes during those periods of time where I'm doing a lot of meditation type practice, then cut back on the weight training for a day or two anyway while I'm doing that, and then I come back outward again. So the first day's just basically getting all the muscles moving again, just getting the pump going, and then I'll be right back in the groove in a period of 2 days, and then I'll be good. I'll be a true Gallantian once again. Sometimes I have to go back to the home planet, and then I come back to planet Earth and lift some weights. When you're doing an exercise, you want to hit the muscle group you want to hit. That should make sense. So there are a number of muscles that get worked when you're doing close grip bench. Front delts, triceps, chest, rotator cuff, yada, yada, yada. You get my point. And at different ranges of the motion, there will be different muscles involved. So when I'm doing from here to here, there'll be some tricep. But once I start to straighten, and if my shoulders have to come up to straighten, there will be a percentage of tricep worked and a percentage of shoulder. Now, depending on how you're built will depend on whether you're using more shoulder or more tricep. And if you're using more shoulder, there's a chance that your shoulder will be hitting failure long before your triceps do. And if this is so, then you do not want to go all the way up, because now your shoulders will be hitting failure and your triceps won't even be getting challenged. So this is the point. All right, I'm gonna go work out now. is with close grip bench press, a lot of people think that there's only one way of doing it. Some people keep their elbows in, some people flare their elbows, some people have wider grip, some people have narrower grip. One common problem I've seen with a lot of people is that they have too narrow of a grip, so then they start getting wrist pain or elbow pain. So you have to find that happy medium, and a happy medium means that you're feeling the stress in the major portion of the tricep, not just in the elbows. You're feeling it more in the muscle belly itself. So that's usually I guess you could say that the way that I diagnose whether the exercise is really working the area that I want or not. I want to feel most of the stress in the belly itself, not right close to the end in the joints, because you're going to get some joint stress no matter what. I mean, people always say, train the muscles, not the joints. What do you mean? Isn't it good to train the joints? The thing is, you're always training the joints. And right here, I'm just showing you the top portion of the tricep press. Like some people, they press towards the eyes. Well, if you come up all the way and then you start to press towards the eyes, you will get some shoulder recruitment, and you don't really want that if triceps are what you're trying to train. So today I'm touching my chest, but sometimes I don't touch my chest. It just depends on what I'm feeling that day and what kind of bench I'm using, what kind of bar, all that kind of stuff. These things can all be factors that contribute to my decision-making process of whether I touch my chest or not.
So lightweight, just get the pump going, just get the pump going. The whole point is you don't have to necessarily go all the way up to the top. If you do go all the way up to the top, there's this movement where you're from here, then you're moving like this, more towards the eyes, and that's going to bring in some delts. And then as far as touching your chest, some people, they might feel the triceps more touching their chest, and other people, they might find their delts are stretching more. So you have to kind of go with your own personal sort of preference on this. But for me, I find sometimes touching the chest works, depending on how wide I'm going. But ultimately, I always just pay attention to where is the tension, and if the tension is staying on the triceps, then I know I'm doing it right for me.
After doing about 4 sets of close grip bench press at super lightweight, for me, 135, usually I can use 2 plates or more for close grip if I want, but I just wanted to do 135 just to pump the blood in there, and then I wanted to go train some back. So ultimately I'm doing a lot of bent over rows, I'm doing a lot of lower back movements, and back in the day, literally back in the day, that's a pun. Yeah, pun intended. Back in the day, I did nothing but free weights for back. But the reason why I did nothing but free weights was because I always thought, well, might as well get all those stabilizers in, all that sort of thing, and that's going to be where I get the most benefit. And that is true to a point, but one thing that I did wrong was that I stuck too much to free weights and didn't actually take advantage of the machines, because once again, it's always about the weak link principle. So if your lower back or maybe your upper traps or whatever it is, you know, maybe your stabilizer muscles are giving out long before your prime movers, then you're not going to necessarily get the same type of development as you would if you make sure the prime movers are giving out first. So I find a combination of machines and free weights is the best. So say you have a day where your lower back's a little bit burnt out, or maybe you don't feel so strong in the lower back, well then it's a good time to just jump on a machine and just really rep out and realize that now your prime movers are going to hit failure long before your lower back would. And then when you go do your bent over row day, sometimes your lats are still sore from that machine workout, and then again they start to become the weak link. So you can get some overall better back development from this.
Whole stack. And I've also mastered the Thigh Master, so yeah, machines, man, I mastered them. No Thigh Master can stand the way of these thighs, I tell you. There's different ways to do tricep press downs, and most of you guys are familiar with this. And the fact is, it's like everything else in the fitness community where people have a strict idea of how it's supposed to be done and everything. And there are many different ways to do a particular exercise. An angle of attack is an underestimated tool in your toolbox that you can use when it comes down to hitting a certain muscle. Sometimes you want to hit the muscle belly. I think most of the time you really want to hit the muscle belly. And sometimes people are doing an exercise, but they're not necessarily hitting the muscle belly. They're hitting the muscles that are right close to the actual joints themselves. So in one example, if you're standing right close to the tricep press down machine and the angle is going straight up and down when you're actually doing the press downs, you'll notice that your elbow, a lot of the muscles close to the elbow are going to actually get hit more than the actual belly itself. In some cases, depending on how you're built, of course, but you're going to notice that a lot of the pressure will start to go there more so than the belly. Now, if you take one step backwards or two steps backwards, you may notice that the angle, and well, actually you should notice, not that you may notice, but you should notice that the angle of attack, the angle of tension will be different. So instead of straight up and down, it's more on an angle. Now, because of this, now it's almost like a tricep kickback type idea where you're keeping that tension more on a different part of the tricep. There are different parts of the tricep muscle belly that are being activated from that. And I find that there is a sweet spot in there. Somewhere between standing right underneath the pulley for the press down and stepping back, somewhere in there, there's a sweet spot where you hit the most amount of tricep all at once. Now, I'm all about you trying different angles and everything too, of course. And sometimes you want to do the extreme angles. Maybe you do want to step right underneath that pulley. But you will notice that you will hit the tricep differently. So you could do a press down workout one day and then do a press down workout another day and hit a totally different part of the tricep, even though you're supposedly doing the same exercise called press downs, because the angle of attack is different. So yeah, try this out. I find that I get more benefit from stepping one or two steps away so that the angle of attack is I guess you could say 30 degrees to 45 degrees at the pulley. And then I find when I'm doing the press downs this way and I'm getting more of the tension on this angle, I'm getting a lot more tricep involvement from that, and I find that I get more benefit. So experiment with that, see how it works, and I think that you're going to get a lot more benefit out of messing around with the angles.
So that was just a pumper workout tonight, just some light weights, so some chest, some back, a little bit of shoulders, and tris and bis. And yeah, that's about it. That's kind of an example of a workout that I do sometimes when I'm lazy, or if I've taken a couple days off and then I just want to get the blood flowing again. Sometimes I will throw some legs in there, or something light. Tomorrow I'll do some legs. I'll do some light legs, maybe 3-plate squats or 2-plate squats or something like that, just to get the blood flowing. And then from there, bang, right into it. Then hardcore all the way. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to go hold me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com. If you need to support this channel, just go to patreon.com under Natural Gallant Bodybuilding. And thanks a lot for watching, and take care for now.
Yeah, how was it coming back?
Carol Burnett. Must be the end of the video.
Oh, good.
Somebody's mopping.
This got nuts, eh? Too bad.